Just like the sevens, 7-8-6-8, 7-8-6-8, 7-8-6-8 has finally become part of me very recently. And before then, it was just drudgery trying to get through that, because it's so difficult to play. You don't know whether to count or just figure it out or do it organically and musically or whatever. So those are some thoughts on what's the hardest song to play. That's an impossible question for me to answer. Hardest song to remember for me is Cygnus X1, the first one. Hardest song probably to execute is probably Jacob's Ladder, just because it's got so many different things in it, and time changes, and it's got the snare intricacies at the beginning, and just there's so much room for screwing things up in that song, and cymbals and that shouldn't be there, and cymbals that aren't there that should be there, and things like that. Another one that presents a problem for execution is The Main Monkey Business. I love the song. I literally listened to that song for 12 hours straight so I could learn it. I had a long business trip and I put it on repeat and I listened to it literally 6 hours there and 6 hours home. And about a half an hour before I got home, I had it. But I tried to play it many times before that, and it was just like, there's no way I can play this. There's so many different changes. There's all kinds of crazy crap going on. There's rhythms within rhythms. There's really cool fills. You got to turn the hi-hat or the snare on and off about 4 or 5 times. The ending itself, just the last, I don't know, 10 seconds is just like, whoa. So, trying to get that down, to learn it was a real big challenge. Secondly, to perform it now, I love playing it because it is such a challenge, and if I get through it, I was just like, yeah, that just brings a smile to my face after 6.5 minutes of sheer torture. But it's not a bad torture. So that's another one. Digital Man is a monster. Just the beginning, just to try and sync up the snare, just that little flurry is really hard to play. And take it from me, I've tried to play it with other musicians, and it usually takes us 3 or 4 takes just to try and start the song. And once we're into the song, it's no problem. But just to sync that part up to a click track, because there's all kinds of other electronic stuff going on that you need a click with it. So you have to play with the click. But if you don't come in on the downbeat after playing this crazy flurry, it's all screwed up. So that's very difficult to play. Another one is Mission. It's so musical and so beautiful, and yet in the middle there, it's just this crazy flurry of toms and offbeat crashes and a wicked roll of da 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 da. You got to come in at the right time. There's a cool cowbell part in the middle, and there's just beautiful musically tom fills, and that's a hard song to play. After about the 3-minute mark. The first 3 minutes are nice, and they were hard to learn, but now it's like, yeah, whatever. But then after that, it's like, there's that part coming up, and that I always psych myself out like that. So I guess, so my short answer was the hardest one to learn, Cygnus X1. The hardest one to play consistently, Jacob's Ladder. The easiest one would be Dreamline, without a doubt for me. There's virtually nothing hard in that song, except being able to play this. So you gotta do something with your foot and whatever. And then there's a little fill at the end, but whatever. That's pretty straightforward. That's probably one of the easiest songs they have. And my favorite song is probably a toss-up between Middletown Dreams, Marathon, Red Barchetta to play. I'm really liking Middletown Dreams these days just to listen to. It's just such a great tune, and it's just a part. It means so much to me on a personal level that song is, and the drums are just mind-blowing in that song too. So, I guess that's about it. I hope that's been informative, and I hope you're still tuned in. You're probably asleep, but wake up! So, back to the drumming. Later.